uploaded on TikTok in 2013. Two men were riding a bike down a road when they saw someone blocking their way. It looked like a woman, but something about her was truly unsettling. There was no vehicle in sight, and the road was an hour away from residential areas, so they didn't know how she'd gotten there. The woman kept her head down, and she didn't even acknowledge their presence, which made the scene even more disturbing. However, the video uploader never explained what happened afterward, or if the woman did anything else. While a security guard in Mexico was working a late-night shift, he noticed something strange on the surveillance camera. Behind one of the restricted buildings, where only guards and officials could go, a woman appeared out of nowhere. Her arms were twisted at odd angles. At first, he thought she might be disabled and lost. But then she turned toward the camera, and her eyes were horrifying. They were pure white, with no pupils at all. Shocked, he rushed to the spot to check in person. Yet when he arrived, the figure was completely gone. Could it have been a ghost? This home security camera recorded a woman while she was asleep, and what it captured was beyond disturbing. In the middle of the night, she appeared to wake up, but something was very wrong. Her eyes seemed to glow, and she had a sinister smile on her face. Her neck twitched unnaturally, and her lips were moving too. The next day, she woke up feeling tired and decided to check the recorded footage, and that's when she saw this. She couldn't tell if this was a bizarre sleep disorder or if something much darker had taken hold of her. What would you do if you found your mother doing this? In 2019, a young woman was staying at her mother's home. One night, when her mother wasn't at home, she started hearing loud sounds from the kitchen. She followed the noise, only to find her mother slamming the oven door repeatedly. She was really scared because her mother would never behave this way. She called out to her, but when she turned, her expression was twisted and wrong. The daughter realized it was another entity disguised as her mother while she was away. So, she ran to her room and locked herself until the entity was gone.
Mom?
The following video is truly terrifying. A paranormal investigator went to a remote location in Malaysia. It was really dark. As he was recording his surroundings, he noticed a pair of glowing eyes staring at him from the darkness. Those eyes appeared to belong to a ghostly female figure in white with long hair. The sight was scary, but he did not run away.
It is, but it's looking back at me.
Because he had expected something like this. That house was said to be haunted ever since a woman had passed away there under mysterious circumstances. He wanted proof of that, which is why he went there. A doctor in Australia shared a terrifying encounter while driving to the hospital for an emergency patient. He had stopped at a red light when a woman suddenly appeared at his car window. Her face was pressed against the glass, and she was staring at him in a creepy way. Then, she began knocking hard on the window. What scared him most was that the woman looked exactly like his wife, but his wife was at home, asleep, and his house was almost an hour away. He mentioned in the description that he eventually drove off, but he still couldn't shake the fear. If it wasn't his wife, then who was it? TikToker Della Dawson uploaded this footage of a strange visitor. At around 4 in the morning, the woman walked up to her door carrying plant baskets and behaving oddly. At first, it looked like she was trying to speak through the intercom. Then her actions only grew stranger. She started staring at the Ring camera eerily, while her neck twitched unnaturally. Della only saw the recording the next day, and she immediately showed it to her neighbors. None of them recognized the woman, but one realized those exact same plants had gone missing from her patio. So, they reported this unsettling woman to the police. What would you do if you came across this in the middle of the night? A man in Africa encountered this terrifying entity near an old hospital. At first, he felt strangely drawn to it, almost as if he were in a trance. The figure had long black hair, pale skin, and unsettling eyes. But the worst part was its unnaturally wide grin. After some time, he snapped out of it and realized how close he was to it. He started recording as he backed away. Even from a distance, the entity's eyes stayed locked on him the entire time. A bus driver went to a junkyard to look for parts to repair his own vehicle. When he found an old bus, he started examining it. That's when he noticed an unsettling face in the windows. It looked like a girl with hair covering part of her face, and she was staring right at him. At first, he thought maybe a homeless girl was living inside, but when he looked inside, the bus was completely empty. The girl had vanished, just like a ghost. That was the moment he got truly scared, and he left without taking any spare parts. A man in Malaysia was working late at his food stall, hoping for extra orders because he needed the money, but he regretted it instantly. A creepy woman appeared at his stall out of nowhere. Her face was really terrifying, and her eyes were completely white, with pupils rolled unnaturally upward. Instead of a mouth, there was a long gash stretching sideways. The man avoided eye contact, convinced she was a churale. He feared that if he looked directly at her, something bad would happen, so he just waited for her to leave. This video begins with two friends returning from a late-night party. It was so late they couldn't find a taxi, so they started walking home. As they were fooling around on the road and recording themselves, one of the girls froze. She spotted something in the distance. A humanoid figure stood in the middle of the road. From that distance, it seemed like it didn't have a head. Then, it suddenly began running toward them. The terrified girls ran for their lives. They ended up escaping, but also learned never to wander alone at night. This Uber driver thought he was picking up an ordinary passenger, but he was wrong. In Dallas, Texas, he was ending his shift with one last ride around 2 in the morning. From the moment the woman got in, she began acting strange. At first, he assumed she was under the influence, but soon it became clear something else was happening. Her neck twisted to the side. Her mouth opened unnaturally wide. She was making strange noises too. The driver realized she might be possessed. He tried to remain calm and was really relieved when her stop finally arrived. Late one night near the Appalachian Mountains, two friends were driving along a quiet stretch of road when they spotted something strange.
Wow, dude, who is that? It's 31 degrees outside.
A woman walking right down the middle of the lane. One of them slowed the car, thinking they should check on her or at least warn her to move. But the closer they got, the more he regretted it. Something about her appearance was deeply wrong. Some say it was her face, or the fact that she didn't seem to have one at all. The friends didn't stick around to find out. They hit the gas and drove out of there.
Get the out, go, get the out, go, go, go.